Welcome to another Pinterest inspired video. You seem to enjoy these, which is great because I enjoy them too. So I'm very excited to choose another pin so we can start creating. So this is my Pinterest inspired Pinterest board. You are welcome to follow me on Pinterest and you can see all of the pins I have added to this board. Maybe you find inspiration in them as well. Or obviously search for your own pins that will inspire you, keep them on a board and try them out. For today's project, I considered two pins in particular. One is this one here. It's very cute, very doable. So even if I don't do this today, maybe this is something you would like to have a try at. Even if you don't have the same materials, obviously, you use what you have. But I think I'm gonna go for this one. If you've seen the title image of this video, obviously, you know if this is the one I'm going to pick. So we have two tags here and they have a denim background and I have a lot of denim. So I think that's the way to go for me. There is a blog spot for this, so let's see if that helps us. So mixed media made by Katja, jeans tag. I had some pieces of jeans, yes, me too, some fabric left over, so I decided to sew some tags with jeans and some small pieces of lace. Perfect. I have also used two crafty chipboard in my mix. Don't have those. And I really love the old photos to match the backgrounds. We can definitely find something for two crafty chipboard with some rust heart and rust paste. So that will be interesting. No idea how I'm going to do that yet. Is there anything else for us to learn? This is a great close-up. So I guess that's all. See you around, Katja. Thank you so much, Katja, for this beautiful inspiration. Maybe let's analyze these a little bit since we don't have a lot of instruction. So we have a chipboard tag in the background. We have denim, we have lace. Then there's some chipboard dies or decorative elements. We have some packaging twine. There's some book pages. There are brads. There's also rusty paper clips. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, let's see what we can do with what we have. So for the base of my tag, I'm going to use this piece of packaging. It is super sturdy. I don't have chipboard tags, so this will be fine. I will need to do something with it though, obviously. Then I found this piece of denim that looks very grungy because I've used it on a jelly plate printing session, and you can see here it has black acrylic paint on it. Doesn't bother me one bit. So the size of the denim piece that I'm going to cut is going to determine the size of my tag. So let's start with that. This is kind of stretchy. Not sure what the best portion of the tag would be. It would be super cool to have the buttons here. This is from a girl's jeans jacket from a flea market. Cost me, I don't know, 2 or 3 euros. The problem with this piece is that you see how it's kind of stretched here. We get a fold here. I want a straight piece. And if I straighten this out, this here makes folds. So that's not good. Also, this here is curved. Maybe this is not the best piece to use, but I do love that it's already grungy. Let's just give it a shot. So let me cut this off. And then I'll cut here. Because this could be a cool piece for something else, maybe even a journal closure somehow. That is for another day. Maybe one thing I could do is to cut a V in there, and that will get rid of the excess material. Cut it here. Yep. I think this is a piece I could go with. Maybe even cut out more here. So this way it definitely lies more flat. So next I of course need to fray all of those edges. Let's take the scissors. Okay, that's looking much better already. So how large do I want it to be? In the photo, we have some of the tag peeking out on top here. So they have these rounded shapes on top. I don't think I want a round shape. Yeah, so I'm going to keep it rectangular. Do I want some of it peeking out? Yeah, we could. Well, automatically, I think some of it will peek out in between here. Yeah, we could leave it a little bit bigger. On the bottom, we'll probably add some lace or something. Let's just cut it pretty much where the end of the denim is. Even though I will be covering this tag, at least partially, with paint, I want to sand down the edges because this is quite glossy. I'm not sure how well the paint is going to stick on there. Super dusty. Woof. Okay, so we have this. Then we need a focal point. I picked these 3 for my short list. These are Tim Holtz paper dolls. You could also check magazine images if you don't have any of these, or I'm sure there's also digital papers you could find. These actually I think are a bit small for this size. So it's either these, very cute, or these. I like both of them a lot. You know what, let's go with these. I feel like a tag without the wedding theme is more versatile. This tag is going to be too thick for inside a journal, so if I would want to add this to a cover of a journal, I think this would be more versatile than having this because it's going to look like a wedding journal if I use these. So we have our couple. I really love how both of these tags have some circles to frame the top of the bodies. I don't have anything like that, but what I do have is a die like this. But if I put it here, I think it's too much. Obviously, I'm going to change the color of this, but this is too much, isn't it? I wonder if I could cut this down and maybe I can somehow get rid of either the most inner layer or the most outer layer. Actually, I like the big one. So let's see if I can get rid of the inner one. Let's see. Okay, that was easy. Yeah, I think that's better like that. Another feature that I really like is on the left one, this 3D heart, and I'm assuming that is a Tim Holtz die and embossing folder, or it's one of these 3D, I don't know what they're called, where you can cut it and shape it in one, these 3D embossing folders. They're not called 3D, I don't know, they're called something else, you know what I mean. I don't have anything like that, so how could I do this instead? I also love that it has a pattern, like it was made out of metal. So let's try the following. I have some cardstock here. I have a heart punch. So let's cut one of these out. And I have this embossing folder, which is perfect. And I haven't used these in a while, so perfect opportunity. So let's put that over maybe this piece right there and run that through the die cut machine. I will do my best to link this in the description box for you. So let's see if that worked. Oh yes, that is beautiful, but it's not 3D. So I want to try something else. So I have this, oh dear, if I only knew the name of things. You know, it's this foam thing and the shaping tools like to make flowers, for example. I've actually never used this. I had to have it and then I've never used it. So what could happen now is that I lose this design, but we'll just have to try to see. So I'm just going to use small circular motions to round this heart to make it a little more 3D. The design is definitely flatter, but it's still there. And we have a kind of a dimensional heart. So I love the placement of that down here, like they do in the left tag. Obviously, it's also going to get some coloring. Should we try to add some more floral elements? I have some chipboard elements here. These are by Minte Papers from Poland. Here's the information. We need something delicate, I have the feeling. So either this one or this one or this one. These chipboards are super, super delicate, and I don't know what the best way is to get them out, but sometimes they break while taking them out. So we have this one. And then this one I broke. It doesn't really matter because I can't use long pieces here anyway, but if I did, this would have really annoyed me. So I really like this super delicate one. So we could add that underneath the heart. Obviously we'd cut that stem off. Let's see if we also want to add this one. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I'll cut this bottom part off and this part here. And then we'll take some packaging twine, put that around. We need some lace. We need book page. So I found some scraps of book page. Some Arabic would be fun. I love the patina of this newspaper. We have some German newspaper, or we have some beautiful vintage handwriting, which would also be really cool. Maybe that's too much blue. I'm liking the idea of having some Arabic here, because why not? So where would we like our pieces? I think we need one here, like so. Where else? We can't just have one. Maybe something down here so that we have a diagonal, or maybe here. Maybe like that. Then we also need some lace scraps. I have this beautiful vintage lace that I can cut up. Could put some here under the writing. I could put some in here because I don't think it's going to close all the way. And I want a piece on the bottom as well. Maybe this is not the right one for the bottom because this one has a straight edge. I don't want a straight edge, so let me check my jar of lace scraps. See if I have anything that's more raggedy. This one has potential. Another option could be something like that. That could be cute. That is cute. We could even add another piece here. So this is pretty much what the composition is going to be. Now we need to add some character. So I need to think which elements do I want to make rusty. So definitely the heart. Then this circle here as well. These here, I think as well. The papers we can just do with Distress Oxide. And then I also need to do at least the top part of the tag. So it's time to get messy and to experiment. So Katja just said in her blog that she used rust paste, whatever that might be. I don't have it. So we need to make our own faux rust. And for that, we need black acrylic paint and a reddish brown, which I don't have, but maybe if I mix raw umber and mandarin, we will get a nice reddish brown. So let's try that. So let's mix these and see what we get. Maybe it needs some red as well. I want this to be a little bit darker. Adding some carmine red. Let's add more brown. I'm not happy with this. I think it needs to be more orange. I'm producing a lot of paint here. This will be okay. And then we need some black. So let's take an old sponge and let's just start with the black. I don't think it matters what you start with. And I'll start dabbing that. I won't need to put it on all of the edges because those will be covered. And let's do the same thing with our other parts. Then we can take the other part of the sponge and take some of this brown. And now I'll make sure that I'm covering all of those yellow spots. That brown actually didn't turn out so bad. I just want to make sure that all of the white parts are covered. Actually, that by itself doesn't even look half bad already. I think I'll run this through my embossing folder one more time because now we're completely losing the embossed pattern. It's going to be very tricky on this one because it is so delicate. It's actually already breaking up here. No, please don't break. Ah, no, it broke and it's probably going to break up here as well. Oh no, they're just too delicate. What to do? Oh no! Oh, one is not enough. Okay, I have this die cut. Let's just do that then. Bummer. So again, starting with the black, and then we'll go in with the brown. So everything is covered now with our paint. One thing I have not tried before is adding cinnamon. So let's try that. So first we need to add some glue. Any PVA glue that will turn clear should work with this. So then we take a stippling brush like this and we go over the surface by dabbing it on. I don't want this layer too thick apparently. So I'm creating texture like this, but we will also get texture later because we're going to use the heat gun and we're going to make some bubbles. So we do the same for all of the other pieces. Hopefully this won't fall apart now. Now it's lost all of its 3D shape. So, okay, we need to do both the embossing and the rounding again. Okay, let's clean this mess up first. So then let's add the cinnamon. I think I took too long maybe because the glue is already drying. So we don't want the cinnamon everywhere. She says as she pours it everywhere. It smells really nice. And then we need to kind of pound that in a little bit. And then we need to add some more glue on top. If you don't like a mess, this is not for you. You could also add some bits of turquoise or so inside. Now before I use my heat gun, I'm going to transfer these onto another sheet because I don't want the cinnamon to blow all over my desk. So now we take the heat gun. Okay, the heart has a huge bubble. That's not gonna work, so I'm just going to push that down. Also here, there's a few that are kind of big. Let's push all of those down. And we could keep adding more paint on top if we feel like it looks too plasticky. Like on this heart, it looks kind of plasticky. Maybe we'll just add a little more of that brown paint. And black paint. And a little more cinnamon. Yeah, I think now it looks nice. Nice and rusty. I think this also needs a little more paint here. And a little more cinnamon. Then I'll just press that into the wet paint. That looks like rust, I would say. And there's this one. You could spray it with fixative. This one I actually think is okay as it is. And so is this. I'm liking this one. It has warped a little bit. This one looks like rust. That's really cool. I ran this through the embossing folder again. Can't really see that a lot. And I did curve it again with those tools. So it's nice in 3D again. So I have all my elements here. Love the way this turned out. This really looks like rust. And that was quite easy and it didn't need any fancy mediums. So if we put this back on now, that already looks a lot better here on top. Do I want the hole on top here with the bow? We could put that right where the crack is, otherwise we wouldn't see it unless we could move the whole thing down. Actually, we should, because this rust is so beautiful. Why would we hide it? So we'll do this. That also means that we could cut it into a tag shape. So I made myself a template. I could use that. Let's distress the edges of the tag. I'll do that all around. Then I'll also take my little finger dabber and go around this couple. And then I'll also distress these papers. For the back side, I'm going to add some packaging paper. Just crumpling it up a bit. Give it more texture. Added some glue on the back here, and then I can just stick that on. And then cut around this. I just realized I wouldn't have needed to do that because most likely I will use this on the cover. Just in case I don't, I have a nice back. Let's ink that up as well. So this is the back. So now we can add a hole and a copper eyelet. Not sure this is the perfect color, but I don't have any more vintage looking ones at the moment. I could add some alcohol ink maybe. Okay, let's try some caramel alcohol ink. See if that helps. Let's try it. Yeah, that definitely did help. Actually, it added to our rust. I like that. And it also stained my back, of course. So the next step would be to add the denim. Oh, we wanted to show that a little bit, right? So a little bit lower like that. And then actually it's too long. So let's make this shorter. Fray that again with the scissors. Please be careful if you do this. Don't hurt yourself. And then we had this lace piece here. This goes underneath here. Okay, let's start by gluing those pieces down. Okay, we have a base. So we wanted to add this piece down here. So these go approximately here. Let's adhere the circle. Then let's add our paper. I'm actually going to put this upside down, just because, why not? And I had some lace somewhere that I wanted to put here, right? Where did that go? Hello? That has disappeared. So how about a piece of this one? This is gorgeous. I like this one a lot. So that will go underneath the paper a bit. So next, let's glue down our beautiful couple. Then we want to add our little plants here. Let's cut this down a bit. So there's one and there's two. And we want our heart on top, like that. Yes. Whoa, way too much glue. Why? Why did I do that? Finally, our heart on top. Next, we take some packaging twine and we wrap it around the bottom here where the heart is. And tie a bow. Let's do that right where the heart is. Now, how do you make that bow stay to be on the bottom? You don't, I guess. Let's snip these off. And then we also want a bow up here. Do we need to add anything else? Do we want to add some brads here, like the one on the left has? That does look kind of cool. Yeah, I feel like we need another element in that rust color, or even just in a brass color somewhere here, because we have it here and here. Of course, we have it on top as well, but I think it needs something here. I found these two, which have the perfect color. So where do we want these? I think they really need to be like here. so that we have a triangle and it would be right through the lace. That's totally fine. Can I lift this up? Yeah, I'm going to lift this up so I don't have to go through the thick cardboard. Let's try it upside down. Okay, let's glue that down again. Yes, I really like that addition. Do we need to add some rust here? I am very torn. Let's try it. No risk, no fun. Same procedure. We'll add a little bit of black. And some brown. Actually, I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to add the cinnamon powder to this. I think this will be just fine. Why didn't you tell me? You probably have, and I haven't been listening to you, so my apologies if that's the case. The whole time I've been looking at my tag, I've been thinking it looks too clean. It's not grungy enough. Well, no wonder, because you see on the background of the other two tags, what do we have? We have white, whatever that is, paint or gesso or whatever. I don't have that. It's way too plain here. Oh my goodness. And it really needs to go underneath this circle. I don't think I can get this off, or let's try. Oh no, it's stuck down. No, that is stuck down. Oh dear. Let me see if I can still add a little bit. I have this one. I've had this forever. I know it's by Diane Reevely, so Ranger and Dilutions. No idea what it's called, unfortunately. And I'm going to try texture paste, because I'm not sure how opaque white gesso or acrylic paint would be. Do we use these? Those would be fun, or the circles. I kind of like the circles. Oh, this is such a bummer. I'm not sure I'm going to like the result if I can't put it underneath the circle. Maybe I can just lift off this part here. It really glued down well, so yay for that glue. I really don't want to destroy this, but I need to get under there. No, 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 don't do it, Barbara. Don't do it. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do the squares. I know I just said I'm going to do the circles. I get to change my mind and do my best. Definitely don't want it over the circle. How did I miss that? How? Okay, clean the stencil. See, this should be under there. Move on, Barbara. It's not happening. Does it need some here? Let's do a couple without destroying the others. It's on my plant. No. I think I need to stop. I think it's only gonna get worse if I keep going. So let's let this dry. I just decided, I hope I'm not too late. Let's be adventurous and add some rusty hinge embossing glaze on top of the texture paste, because I think the white is very white on here. I need a paper. It might be too late already. Ah, no, it's not. Oops, I just put my finger over that. Good job. I'm not sure this is a great idea. We'll have to wait for the texture paste to dry, but you know what? I just got an idea. I'm going to take my embossing dabber and add it here. And add some more rusty hinge there. Oh, I think that's gonna be really good. I'll also do that on the circle here. This looks very similar to the cinnamon, actually. Need to be careful not to mix those up and put embossing glaze in my meals. That wouldn't be so fun. You know what? I'll even add some here. I really have a feeling that will add a really cool effect. Okay, this needs to dry. So it's a couple of hours later. I have heat embossed the embossing glaze. I love it up here on the top and here and on all the rusty bits. I think it looks really good. I'm not liking it here on the white texture paste. I should have maybe used the Crypt texture paste by Tim Holtz. That would have given me a darker result, but I didn't. What I could do is to add darker embossing glaze over it. This is walnut stain. Maybe it's better to first add some embossing medium here with my dabber again. It will get on the denim, unfortunately. Be brave, Barbara. Yeah, it is a lot on the denim. Maybe I can brush some of that off before I heat emboss it. Whoa, you see that clump? Oh my goodness, there's way too much here. I might have just ruined the whole thing. Let's see. Ah, okay, it does come off here. Oh no, look at that. It's also, of course, coming off the texture paste. What did I do? I know I could put the stencil over it, but I turned it so many times, I'm not sure I can find the correct position. But maybe that's what we have to try, because, no, this is not good. I mean, I love grunge, but no, this is too much. So let's see if I can figure out how I had my stencil. Ooh, this looks pretty good right there. Let's try that again. Let's try it first on this one corner before I mess up everything again. Nope, it's not working. Oh my goodness, look at this. I think it, maybe if I would have dried it before. Should we just leave it orange? Not giving up, I don't like the orange. Oh, I have some texture paste on her. Okay, let's put the stencil on again. Why don't we try it with the acrylic paint? We'll try to get the similar colors that we got from the rust effect. So which is better? Yeah, I like this better. Kind of does look like rust, doesn't it? I don't even think I need the stencil. Okay, so I do like that better than the orange that I had before. There's two more things I want to potentially add. Hopefully these will work out better than the heat embossing. And one is I want to, actually both of these things I want to add, will add a little bit more, just a touch of white back in. So I think this thread here might look cute underneath the bow, but that also means that we won't see the heart basically hardly at all. Maybe if we put it more towards the bottom. I mean, we can slide this down a little bit too. We didn't glue it on. What do we think about that? I like it. I know the heart is hard. The heart is hard to see, but it's there. I know it's there. I like that. So that's a winner at least. Let's make sure that is glued down a little bit so it doesn't go anywhere. And then the second thing, which might look cute, it might not, I'm not sure, but I'm such a romantic at heart. I would like to add the word love down here, right on top of that twine. And I'm going to stamp that with this stamp set. One of these is linked below from Amazon. I'll stamp it on some stiff watercolor paper in black archival ink. I want the letters to be individual, so I'll have to cut these out. They might actually be too big. Oh, that E is not good. What do we think? It's not glued down yet. Kind of like it. Also wondering if it's too much. Is that better? What speaks for this position is I like how we have the vertical here and here. It does seem more balanced this way. Otherwise, I have the feeling all of the white is sort of here. You know what I mean? I have nothing white up there. But I also really like the idea of having it here on the twine. What to do? So I found a compromise. I have my love down here and I have 2 white buttons there. And that's my finished tag for today. I did stay quite close to the original, but I also added a few of my own touches. What did I learn from this? Well, I learned how to make rust a little better than I knew how to do before. Loving the result here and up here. And I'm pretty sure I'll be adding more rust parts in future projects. So go find inspiration on Instagram, but don't just store the photos. Actually try the project. Even if you don't know how to do something that you see in the project, like the heart here. See what you have at home that you could use as a substitute. It might not look the same at all, but it might look way better. Who knows? You'll never find out if you don't try. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!